Alright, yeah, we got it all painted up, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. There are a few things we got to do before we put it together, though. Like, I'm going to put a new seal in here, and a new seal in here. And on the crankshaft here, somebody one time must have drilled a hole here, to hold on some kind of pulley or something. But this hole is actually more than halfway through the shaft. That's only a 1/2-inch shaft, and that hole goes deeper than 3/8. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll plug weld that and then grind it flush. I don't think I have to put it in the lathe, but I want to try and strengthen that up, because that's going to be a weak part. And then we'll clean this up and put the crank back in, clean the piston up, put that in, and then we'll be all ready for the head. You know, when I made this, a lot of guys left comments. I wouldn't say a lot, maybe about 4 or 5. Said I should have put it in the lathe, but I don't see any way of putting it in the lathe. You know, I mean, there's really nothing good enough to bite onto. This here, everything is in the way here. I guess I could have. Nah, there's not enough meat to bite in there, and this here is not round. You know, I would have had to get a piece of 7/8 stock and then cut some threads on it so you can clamp it in there and spin it on that. But it's just so much easier to do that, and it did the job, and it's as round as it's going to get. So that's why that didn't go on the lathe. Same with this. You know, there's no reason to put this in the lathe if I can grind that down and file that till it conforms with everything else. That's only the pulley side of a shaft. You know, if I put this in a lathe, you know, I'd have to get a live tail, put live tail stock on it, and put it in there and set up the tooling and stuff. You know, it's just easy to grind it and be done with it. Okay. Before I do this, I want to show you guys something real fast. Alright, got something here in the mail today, all the way from New Zealand. Let me show you what it is. I hung it up on the wall back here. It's a New Zealand flag from our buddy over there in forgot what, South Island. Yeah, South Island. I don't know. I will have to look something. Why-mate or something. Alright, but that's pretty cool. That's a big flag. That's about 4 foot by 2 foot flag. And he sent me pictures, a couple pictures of the projects he's working on. Yeah, he sent me some cool postcards. Here's one of a racer, 1959 road race. Almost looks like it's probably Bruce McLaren. But anyway, this is the cool part here. He sent me a couple pictures of his projects. This here is a 1933 Austin Ruby. You know, look how small it is. It fits inside that little trailer. I've seen one of these over here in the States, and they are a pretty cool car. Almost look like a 30 Ford or something, but they're real small. And here's his other project here. Matter of fact, this only has a 7 horsepower engine in it. That's pretty cool. And then here's the other one. It's a Austin Devon, 1951. That's cool. And this must be the engine. 7 horsepower. Pretty cool. That's from Why Matty. He even wrote it out and spelled it for me. Why Matty, New Zealand, South Island, New Zealand. All right. Thanks a lot for that, John. I appreciate that. It's pretty cool. Didn't take that long. He told me he was going to send it. It only took about 4 days, 4 or 5 days. Pretty cool. All right. Let's get back to work. Thanks again, John. Yeah, we're not going to keep that flag there. That flag is going to go inside the house. I just hung it there to show you. Alrighty. Alright. I brought you over here to the vise. This is where we're going to do the welding. But before I do that, I'm going to get a little Dremel, little grinder, carbide cutter or something, and just clean this all out a little bit. Get rid of all that rust. I want to show you guys something else here. I just got this in the mail too. This is from our buddy Doug Van Allen. He sent me these 2 antique plugs here. They're pretty cool. You know, he told me he had Edison plugs, and if anybody knows anything about the older plugs, they were monsters. But these here are small, and they actually have the same size thread on them. Looks like a 10 millimeter that we're going to use in this little engine here. So they're not very deep. You know, the thread's not very deep, and get rid of that. But we'll see. We'll see if we can use them. We'll use them. But they're pretty cool. These are probably about 100 years old. These are probably from the 20s. Let me see if that'll focus in. There we go. Edison. Pretty cool. Plus he sent a set of rings here for one of the older engines, and two distributor caps here, 2-cylinder distributor caps. You don't see these very often. They're actually 4-cylinder, and they plug 2 of the ends off here. It's pretty cool. I don't know what they're for. Mike will probably know. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe a Crosley or something. There's a lot of 2-cylinder distributor caps out there. I think Indian used them, Wisconsin used them. The little Puch motorcycles and the 500 Fiats, Nortons, Onan. Who else? John Deere did, but I don't think they use this configuration. You know, they use like the 2 here. But let's see what's in here. It says does have some markings. IGB-1. That might tell you something. Yeah, Doug, if you know what they're for, let me know. Mike will probably know, but I don't know. Like I say, if I had to guess, I'd say Crosley. All right, well, thanks. Thanks, Doug. We appreciate that. And like I say, if we can use these in that engine there, we're going to do it. All right, let's do some grinding and some welding. Alright. Yeah, that's a little more of a blob than I wanted to, but my eyes aren't the best. I'll cut that off and then grind it down. That's why I let the kiddies do most of the welding. Yeah, I didn't like that blob that was on there, so I just cut the whole thing off and turned the heat up and got a better penetration. Now I cut down most of the stuff, and I am going to throw it in the lathe. That way it's perfect. Alright. Yeah, I cut that lobe down as far as I could, and I could feel it's just a little high. So what I did is I came over here and I put some magic marker on there, and this should be my final cut. So I'm going to just bring it in. I'll try to stay out of the way here, just till that cutter touches that and starts taking that black off, and then that's where I'll go. Gotta remember, I'm not a machinist, you know. Almost there. Real machinists are probably laughing at this, but this is what guys like me gotta do. I think it's starting to touch. Yeah, because on little stuff like this and the tools we have are pretty much junk. Look, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just barely touching, just enough to leave a mark for me. So I know that's exactly where I want to go. All right. sleeves. Okay. It's as good as it's going to get. Alright. Yeah, there's no lip there or nothing. Okay. I'm going to hit that with some sandpaper and call it good. Alright. Just going to clean this edge up here. It's got a little burr right here. I'm going to clean it up with the file and then hit it with some 120 emery paper. Feel it smoothing out. That's good. It's not much, just a little bit of emery paper and then some of this Scotch Brite, and this should look brand new. Remember, this is just for a pulley. I mean, there's nothing precision going on this end here. You just want it as close as you can get it. Don't do this at home, kiddies. Keep your hands off of the machinery. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Watch your sleeves. Alright, yeah, to me that's good enough. The rest of the shaft is pretty rolled up, but where we fixed, there's a tiny little scratch there where we couldn't get enough weld in there, and this cut was there, so I'm happy with that. Let's put it over the bench and take a better look at it. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. I'm real pleased with that. It's amazing that the wire to come out of that welder is the exact same color as this metal. You know, all metals aren't the same. That's why it surprised me that you can't even tell. I can see right here where I did it because there was a little nick. But we're no Texas Viking, if you know what I mean. Alright, all this has to do is, I don't have a bushing, that's a half-inch bushing. You know, pulley just has to fit on there, so. Nothing too bad. Alright, I'm going to take these rings off here and clean the grooves and stuff. And then maybe we'll put some seals in, and we should be ready to go. Alright, I'm going to put new seals in this. Got a whole box of them here. Whoa! Hold on, fellas. So we'll pop one of these old ones out and put a new one in. Alright, I think with this one here, I might be able to just get it from behind and pop it out. You know, because I don't want to scratch the paint up. But we'll see. I was going to use a drift pin, but I can't get behind a rubber seal. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what happens here. There we go. Now I'll clean in here, and then we'll put a new one in. All right, sit tight. All right, with this seal here, I can't get behind it to pop it out. I can't get the right angle. I can almost get it, but I can't. So I think we'll pop this one out from the front. I put a little tape over here so I don't damage the paint, and then just stick a screwdriver in there and just pop that bitch out of there. Hopefully we didn't damage the paint. Yeah, there we go. Everything's cool. Alright, let me clean this up and then we'll put the new ones in. Alright, clean that up. I don't know if you can see it's nice and shiny and clean in there. But right now, I'm just going to take the new seal and stick it in there and try to make it level. Just, there you go. That's pretty good. That's pretty level. And then I'm just going to take this 7/8 socket here. I'm going to use the back end here because it's got more flat. You know, the front here will work, but the back's got more flat. And then just going to put it on there and
Tap it in there. And you hear that? Hear it right there? Nice and solid. So that's it. Our seal is in. Alright. I'm going to do that to this one, and then we'll be all ready for the crank. Alrighty. You guys don't have to see this because you're seeing it on there, right? Okay. Alright. Enough of this.